going on, everybody? It's your boy Matty B, Epis Sports Radio. This is episode 12. Let's get it going. Keep showing up.
Broadcasting from the capital of sports, it's the Matty B Show. Right here on Epis Sports Radio. Matty B on Epis Sports Radio.
And swung on and into the air. To deep right center. That ball is high. It is far. It is gone. Very deep is right. Hits one deep to left field. Headley back near the wall. It's out of here. The Mets win the ball game. A 60-point game for Cody Bryant. Up by 3. It's over.
Yeah, baby. Epis Sports.
The Jets win in overtime.
You already know what time it is. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Good morning, Vietnam. What's going on? How you doing? It's Matty B, Epis Sports Radio, episode 12. What's going on, everybody? It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We got March Madness crazy talk. We're going to have a special segment on the show today. We're going to break down the NL and AL Central. It's a three-part segment that we're doing this week leading up to opening day on Thursday that we're trying to get in. We're going to break down the divisions. We're going to give our predictions and a little something on the side. But most importantly, March Madness is the hot topic of the day. And last week or so, the Johnnies, unfortunately, the historic run comes to an end yesterday. 31-5 on the year. They fall to Arkansas Razorbacks 75-66. Long story short, it was what we were concerned about from the beginning, Dub. The offense just didn't show up. This team fell short when it came to that. Defensively, seemed like they were holding their own, but Arkansas matched up well against them, gave them a lot of issues. Kadari Richardson, again, having foul trouble. RJ couldn't shoot it for nothing for the whole night, 3 for 17. And it was just a struggle. It was a struggle to score. Early on, Arkansas was putting on the pressure, and it just seemed like they couldn't find a good quality shot, whether it be two. They weren't shooting well from the three. We know they're not a good team from the three-point line. That's just not their thing. But the Razorbacks, man, it starts to, you beg the question, was the Big East as good as it seemed, being that St. John's ranked so high at number 2? Arkansas handled them pretty well, especially for a 10th seed, Also, kind of speculative whether or not they're a true 10, based on they had some injuries early on in their season. They went 22-13 on the season. So, who knows, if they're really, they're probably not properly ranked. Especially, and we seen it last night. We just seen it, Dub. It was kind of a spanking. St. John's really struggled to find anything here. Oh, I'm struggling keeping your camera on here. Screwing up there.
I'm on this
yeah,
one.
No, I know. I was messing up there. Yeah, I had your black screen up. Yeah.
So that Matty, man, St. John's grand opening, grand closing, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you were right about that's the best point. Not best point, but a great point you made. Arkansas wasn't a real 10 seed. Calipari bringing those guys in. DeJuan Wagner's kid DJ's there, the Kentucky transfer. They got a lot of big guys. They were hurt early on, like you said, man, and they bullied the bullies, man.
Yeah.
They bullied the bullies because that's St. John's is. St. John's is an athletic, offensive rebounding dynamo. They could take tough shots and miss them. If anything goes off the back of the rim high in the air, they're on it.
Right.
Any rebounds like that are flying out, they're on it. And Arkansas was doing the same thing, bro. And they kept their lead all day. St. John's closed it down, closed the lead late, but then Arkansas opened it back up. The Big East, Creighton got slapped around yesterday. They're out of here. Who else is in the Big East?
We'll stay on the Johnnies real quick a little bit
No, I'm
about
just
it, but
saying,
you
you're
know,
talking about the Big East. I'm covering that.
Yeah,
They got
yeah.
really got, but I'm just talking about the conference that the Johnnies won to get that high seed. They were like the last deuce 2 seed, so that's like 8th overall. So they gave them, they actually ranked the seeds. Like there's a 1A, 1B,
Right.
Top team, they'll get the easier bracket or whatever. But, it was a Calipari Patino matchup. And Cal got his mentor this time.
Yeah, when you're looking at the Southeastern Conference, you got Auburn, Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Ole Miss.
Missouri was in there.
And Arkansas in the middle of the pack, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's really, it speaks volumes. And again, we spoke about the injury issues that they had. I don't know if they were really they were undervalued here, going into this game, I think, especially the Johnnies. I think
Vegas didn't think Arkansas, at that 8.5. I didn't want to touch that 8.5.
I see. I think the last it was at -6.5 for St. John's.
6.5 late. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they're out of here, man. They got the big time coach. The transfer portal and everything else. Things might turn around, but one thing we have to touch on while we're still on this topic is the fact that Coach Pitino took R.J. Lewis out the game with 3 minutes to go, and they were down 2. He was at the free throw line.
5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to go.
5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
It was 5. Come on, bro. I know he's 3 of 17 or whatever he was. DJ Wagner was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Shooting percentage.
I agree. I think you got to roll with him regardless.
Right.
It's kind of ride or die. That's your guy. You don't have any other good option.
He's at the free throw line. He sticks to 2 free throws, and coach pulls him. He watched the bad ball go in the basket. You know what they say? Shooting free throws will help you shooting from the field. You watch seeing the ball go in the hoop. Basketball is so cerebral, bro. Mechanically and the mental and all of that, and the discipline, and just doing the same thing repetitively, perfectly over and over. And that's most, especially with shooting. So, him watching the ball, let him stay in the game. He's your best guard. He's your best creator. Like, let him stay in the game. And they're down 2. And after he takes them out, what happens, Matt? They get crushed.
They get crushed. It just went nuts. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then after the game, Patino's like, he's mad at the reporter. The reporter's doing his regular shtick. He's getting, why RJ was, trying to lead him. And Patino's like, you're trying to lead me into that conversation I don't want to have. You know the answer to the question. You know why he wasn't in the game. So why are you asking? So I guess that presumably he meant the answer to the question would be he was off.
Well, yeah, I was a bit confused by that myself, but then I had to. If you listen to the full clip, it's a little deceiving. The initial clip that they started to circulate out there on social media. If you listen to the whole clip, he said it. The guy went for 3 for 17. He was 0 for 3 from 3. I think it was really just more about a play. I think at some point he had no confidence or didn't see any confidence in RJ. I can't speak for him. He's there. He knows. He's been around. He's been there, done that. I think at some point he just felt like his kid doesn't have it, and his only other option, was kind of a desperation attempt was whoever else it was coming off the bench.
Smoked.
Yeah. But you're right, though. Listen, you take him out, at that point, you're still in the game. You're only down by 4. There's 5 minutes left. Anything can happen. 5 minutes, especially in college, I feel like it takes forever.
What he accomplished by pulling that kid and then getting beat up, the team getting beat like that at the end, is he took some of the blame away from the kid, but now we're putting it on him. Like, I'm not putting it on him, but instead of saying, Patino stuck with his kid and his kid was awful. And that would have been it.
Yeah.
It's off the coach. But now we're on his ass for it. I mean, it's Coach Pitino. He's the godfather of this. It's whatever, man. But whatever. I didn't like it. He had a little ego right there. A little, not only ego, but a little, I know it all. And, like you even said it.
I agree.
Around. But, every player is different. No matter how long
he's your guy. What other option? I mean, it would have been, if it goes the other way, who was the backup option for them anyway? Instead of RJ, who was it? Was it not Ruben Prey? That's the big funky dude. I like Ruben Prey, by the way. He was playing good last night.
Matt, he had 4 steals. He was in the passing lanes. He's playing defense.
Is it this
That's what they do.
Leo Tulopoulos? What was with it? Leferis? It's one of those names.
Over the players,
It's one of those names. You got Davion Smith. Is he a guard? Is 32 minutes? Yeah, 4-11.
RJ played 30 minutes.
Right, RJ still played 30 minutes.
Out of 40.
Their big man, Ejiofor, he was phenomenal, I think. But they got to find a way to feed that guy a little bit more. He was 9 for 11, bro, from a free throw and 12 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, 7 for 12 from the field. They got to feed that man more. And he's not a huge big. When you look up the matchups with Ejiofor against Arkansas's bigs, he's the smallest one out there. But he was certainly playing like one of the biggest ones, and I felt bad for him at times. He's just going into traffic, 2-3 guys. Like they weren't. One thing's for sure, and Patino alluded to it. The ball movement was atrocious. There was a lack of ball movement. It was just a stagnant offense. And again, it's not. They don't pride themselves, but they try to work fast. They try to up the tempo, get up the floor. And at times when they did that, Arkansas seemed ready for it. When they tried to push the ball on a fast break, Arkansas was there. They were getting back, and they were defending well. It was a good job on their part. They played a great game, all in all. But
yeah, and they're like you said, man. They're not a 10. I'm not sure. They should have next in the bracket. Who are they looking at?
I'll check the bracket for you here. Hold on, I got it right now.
They like you said, man. They're not a real 10.
So Arkansas is doing Texas Tech. So to be determined in terms of the
time and play. The time
and place. Yeah, well, we know where they're playing, right?
We know where they're playing. My bad. Yeah, but
and Texas Tech is minus 5.5. By the way, going into that as of right now. That's probably a game that they could win. Texas Tech beating Drake. The storybook. The storybook. Season for Drake is over.
Well, you know what's funny, Matt? It's not been a lot of upsets except for Arkansas, St. John's, which kind of.
Right. Well, we alluded to it. McNeese, McNeese was one.
And their magic carpet ride ended as well. They were annihilated.
Yeah, 76-62 Purdue. The defending championship finalist, right?
Right.
Who won last year? Who was it was UConn?
Connecticut. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, man, sons of bees.
UConn's got the real deal today.
And did you see the women's UConn team, bro? I think it was like first round. It was they put up like 140 points or something, bro. Yeah. It was like, what the hell is going on?
That's what I'm talking about. The disparity in the first and second round in the women's tournament. The talent difference between these 1s and 16s and these 1s and 9s be so huge. UConn women, come on. Who did they play? I don't remember who they played. It was
I don't know. I don't have the bracket. I can pull that up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
let's say.
Today though, Maddie, since we're still here, UConn, and we're on UConn.
Yeah.
They got the Gators in an hour and a half. That's the first game, bro.
That's the first game today. What, 12 o'clock? Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna be here at 12 o'clock, bro. I love you guys to death. I know my cousin's on this. Gino, Big Gino's on here. I love you guys, but I'm not gonna be here, so I'm watching that.
Where's Gino at? Gino's in the chat? Nah, Gino not. I don't see. I didn't see no. Wait, hold on. I got the chat up. Gino be chat?
He was. I thought he was here, but anyway, yeah.
Hold on. Let me. I was pulling up this bracket for you. Hold on. Say women's bracket. Oh, come on. This is a shitty bracket right here. I don't like this.
Well, today you got Florida, UConn, and you got Duke, Baylor next at 2:40. You got Kentucky, Illinois.
Can you just give me the freaking bracket?
When you look at these seedings, all of the top seeds in these 4-5 game: Oregon, Arizona, 2 versus 10, Michigan State, New Mexico, Iowa State, Mississippi at 3-6. Colorado State's alive, number 12. They're 12. They're gonna play Maryland today. God bless them. Good luck to them. Because the Big Ten is not playing games. Did they lose yesterday?
Big Ten? No, they all won, right? Yeah.
They were 8-0 on Thursday.
Who put up 100?
I'm sorry, they were 8-0 on the first round. Between Thursday and Friday, they were 8-0. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, okay, Big Ten yesterday. Oh, they did lose last night late. BYU beat Wisconsin 91-89.
Try BYU one to win. Yeah.
That's the only one. Yeah, and the rest of them are alive.
Yeah.
Michigan beat A&M 5-4, and Purdue beat McNeese State.
All right, so I was bugging out about the 140, by the way, but the UConn women's, which is a second seed, by the way. Who the hell is number one? They won 103-34 over Arkansas State, bro. What the?
There it goes. It was a 70-point win, though.
That's insane, 69. Bro. Like, oh my god. USC is number one. UConn's not number one. USC beat USC Greensboro. Huh? Interesting. Interesting.
She's the best. Yeah, Juju Watkins, the best.
Gino's here. There he is. All right. What's up, bro? Good morning. All right. So we're talking about the Johnnies again. It's an unfortunate loss for them, man. I want to say I was listening to Malusis on the Fan this morning, man, and he's going off and how this is really just a big of a letdown. And I agree. Coming off the Big East win, it's nice, but you're starting to see how the Big East is facing up against the other conferences, and now you're starting to think, well, was this team really as good as advertised? And I was expecting at least a round of 16 visit. I had hopes of a Final Four, for this team, but I didn't think they would win it all, but I was, I think like at highest they could have got a Final Four, but
visit would have been nice. Just having that weekend through the weekend, having those 4 days to talk about
for sure,
and getting a Thursday or a Friday night game would have been awesome. So, but we're not gonna get that. I think they took us on a ride, man, and then the expectations rose, kind of like the Knicks last year.
Yeah.
They take you on this ride, and then they start raising your expectations because in the beginning of the season. But like I said, just a second round is just tough, bro. Being a two seeds, come on, it's tough to take that L. But I must say, they have a bright future still, the program. Coach
well, that's the thing. See, I hear people saying that, but do they?
Yeah, because they got Pitino.
Well, yes.
Pitino's the glue. With his kids and this money before the kids and the money was allowed to even touch each other. He knows he created this, man. Yeah, these kids are gonna play. He's in New York. He get these New York guys to come down. He's an Italian guy in New York. He's always been a good coach when he's here. When he was in the Knicks, he was a good coach here.
Yeah,
he'll be fine. Yeah, I really believe in Coach Pitino. I can believe in Coach Calipari too. Like, look, Arkansas gonna be dangerous, man.
He had a great game, Calipari, last night. He seemed like he outcoached Pitino. Yeah, he was getting hard on the refs early, man. You could see him really talking. They even alluded to it on the broadcast. He was really getting in the ref's ear, speaking about, hey, pay attention to these fouls, this and that. They let him play, but then they didn't. They were calling some fouls towards the end there.
Control the game, even when it was a 2, 3 point, 4 point game on it. They had total control, and everything. All of the Johnnies' strengths, they showed them. They were on the offensive glass.
Yeah.
So was Arkansas.
Yeah, for sure.
And they bullied the bullies, man, because the Johnnies are bullies. I was thinking about what you were saying about the conferences, and then it made me think about like the top 5 conferences in basketball. The Big East is probably the 5th one. The ACC is better.
Okay.
The SEC and the Big Ten are just like in football. They are different.
Who's number one? Is that
I would
SEC?
Say they say it's the SEC. Yeah, it's the SEC.
It seems like it, and that was the one I was alluding to, right? Yeah.
Big Ten can always compete.
Yeah.
But the champion came out the Big East last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the Big East has solid teams, and then you also have the Big 12. Is the Big East better than the Big 12? They're not better than the ACC. So
I worry because Patino's the glue. You're right, and I think naturally he's gonna lure players there. But as we talked about in the previous show, with the NIL, the collegiate sports landscape has changed quite a bit. So now
advantage.
Maybe. It's not necessarily a guarantee. When you have a bad loss like this, okay, maybe some top players don't want to go to the Big East, but at the
Bro,
same time, maybe
since
they
the
do
NIL,
because
since
they
the
can.
NIL has,
Yeah.
you get your bro. Since the NIL has come back, you can pay guys to come play. Kids from anywhere, they can come to New York City and go to school here for a year and play ball in the Garden.
Yeah.
They're gonna come. They're gonna come. Don't worry. This is
Bro, I
why
was just
they're
reading an
here.
article. There was 3 top players that didn't come, because Patino offered them $1,100 each, and they didn't want to come. So, money. There's money being spent, and it's not being spent only by the St. John's.
These kids aren't pros where you can be like, I don't care about playing in New York. I'm gonna play there anyway. You're not getting that opportunity. Just be 19 in the city for a year. You don't got to live here.
Yeah.
For a year. Yeah, they'll take it. Yeah, that opportunity. They're gonna get good players. They're gonna get good transfers. It's crazy with the NIL. They don't even recruit anymore, man. They don't even care about the freshmen. Jeez, they want these guys like you said, the friggin' manager from McNeese State's getting a deal. Anything that makes money.
And did you hear that? Did you hear that he's already leaving as well?
Right, go to NC State. That's crazy, man.
He's going to NC State, which is kind of interesting too. It's like especially with him.
His homeboy is on the team. He's going, so he's going with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
package deal.
Maybe. It's interesting. We'll see how they receive him over there. Will he have the same?
St. John's will be
same
fine,
aura?
man. I mean, this finish and the way they played in the regular season, finishing that strong was a great look. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna be able to replicate exactly, but I think they'll be fine. Connecticut's still around. Villanova was bad this year. They'll be back. One of these days, Georgetown will wake up. Well, I don't know, man. The Big East, we'll see. Like you said, if these coaches and these institutions want to take care of the players, then they're going to get the guys they want. We're still learning about the NIL and how it works, and so.
I mean, it's going to be interesting. You heard Patino in the past say that it's we're not going to recruit. We're not going to recruit any high school players here. Going into next season, they're just going to solely rely on bringing in players through the transfer portal.
Right. That's it.
Let's see. I mean, being that the Big East is relatively on the weak side when you look at the other conferences, I'm sure they're gonna do well next year. I'm sure, but if they have aspirations to do round of 16, Elite 8, Final 4, or even reach to the finals, they're gonna have to get some top tier offensive players in. I just don't know if they're gonna want to come here to Big East. I don't see why not. You get to play at the freaking Garden. It's New York. It's a beautiful thing. Like, you can market yourself now with the NIL. And being that the conference is kind of on the weaker side, in terms of competition, you should stand out essentially even more. And you're in a big market, so I don't know. I think you can elevate your draft, projection that way, so it's something that players ought to consider. I did hear some rumors already. I know they're probably just, rumors based on what occurred last night. But apparently, R.J. Lewis is going to enter the transfer portal.
Okay.
Which is okay. Is he really going to do that? I don't know. Why leave? What I'm saying? Is it because of what happened? You're getting sit in the last 5 minutes there, kind of like in your emotions. I don't know if it's a legitimate claim, but that's what was being said. Let me sip my coffee, everybody. Good morning, everybody, by the way. It's Sunday, the 23rd. I'm feeling like crap. I've been sick all since last night. Jesus. But I took a little Dayquil. I feel all right. Congestion's not too bad. I was hacking up a lung before the show. We actually started on time today. We almost had some issues there, but it was good. We're in. All right. So, that's what happened with the Johnnies. Just to recap that again, 75-66, Arkansas moving on. Tough end to the Johnnies' year. I was really hoping for them to go far, but that's going to be a nice matchup. Arkansas and Texas Tech. Again, Texas Tech coming off the win against Drake, 77-64. They're a force to be reckoned with for sure. Today, you got Kentucky, Illinois going at 5:15. Excuse me. There's the sickness. Tennessee is awaiting that winner. So that whoever wins the Kentucky-Illinois game is going to go up against the 2 seed Tennessee. Tennessee, 67-58 win over UCLA. Pretty convincing there. Purdue, we mentioned it. Finish off McNeese. Nice little story there. He beat Clemson by 2 points, 69-67. Purdue so far looking good, man. Looking like a team that can possibly get to the finals again. So they're something that you really got to put on your radar right now. Dub, what's going on with you, baby? You all right? You hear me?
No.
Oh boy. I hear you a little bit.
Yeah, carry on.
I got you, man. Don't worry. So yeah, what's some other games on the landscape today? Let's see. Was that Gonzaga-Houston game? Houston beat out Gonzaga. That was a good game. Houston won 81-76 over Gonzaga. Gonzaga's season ends there. Houston, handled them right there. It was really competitive down the stretch in the second half. Houston jumped out to a 35-27 lead in the first half. And, Gonzaga won the second half 49-46, but was unable to come back in the end. They were unable to stem the tide with that deficit there, and Houston Cougars held on. Some numbers right there. Let's just check the full box score. Why don't we? All right. So 27 points for Graham Ike, the Gonzaga Bulldogs. He played 37 minutes. Not bad. 30 points for L.J. Cryer for the Houston Cougars. Big game for him. Am I get hit up here? What's going on? Oh, well, Dub finds a way to get back in here. I just want to say again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. If you haven't already done so, please follow, like, and subscribe to the channel. We are 1 follower away here on Twitch from being a Twitch affiliate, so we need that. Let's go. We've been stuck on 49 for a little bit. If you haven't already done so, please click it. We can start doing some things. We can start, receiving some money, doing things on the channel. It'll be cool, man. And please check out the YouTube page as well, Epis Radio, and Instagram page as well. All right, some other games. Let me take these off right here. Again, nothing super notable yesterday. Not any crazy big upsets. I think a lot of people, the thought process has really been that it's kind of just been a ho-hum start to this March Madness. No crazy big upsets, anything like that. Which we're not really used to. You like to see those big upsets in the first, second rounds, and might see something here in the round of 16. But it's at this point, it's more of just who's the better team rather than an upset. But let's see, Creighton, Auburn 82 over Creighton. Got Auburn and Michigan. That game is set. There's no day, no time set for that either. I guess they're still figuring out their times for this. Today, 7:45, we got Iowa State, Ole Miss. Ole Miss, 6 seed. You got Iowa State with that 3 seed. Iowa State's a -5.5. So that's a good game at the nightcap, 7:45. New Mexico against Michigan State. I suppose that one, that's a bit of an upset alert right there. 10-2, Michigan State, -7.5, heavily favored. Maybe New Mexico could find a way to win and do their thing. You got St. Mary's, Alabama. I mentioned that one before. That's a 6-10 game. St. Mary's a 7 seed. Coming off a big win against Vanderbilt. That was basically a pick'em game. 59-56. We'll see. Alabama. Can fight them off. You got Florida and UConn. That's the big one coming up. 12-10. Believe that's the first one of the day. I don't think there's any other 12 o'clock game, is there? Let's see.
No.
No. Hey, bro. There you are.
Yeah, it still looks shitty, but yeah, yeah, everything. I think there's a couple standalones. That first game, the UConn and Florida game. I love that game, man.
Yeah, that's a action packed game
Yeah.
right there. Florida heavily favored -9.5.
Yeah,
though.
against the
It's
defending
like,
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Hurley's defending champion, Connecticut Huskies. No respect.
Yeah, no respect. Clearly, I mean, 8 seed too. Like, how did they do this
respect.
year? What was their record? It was 24-10.
I mean,
Were
they
they
got beat
dealing
up by
with some
St. John's a lot.
injuries?
They let St. John's kick their ass. I mean, they had
Did
their
they play?
injuries.
How many times they play St. John's? They played them once. Or they played 3 times and beat them.
Didn't they play? They didn't play in the tournament.
I'm forgetting on that one. When they in Big East, they did play them. They got through St. John's. Yeah, let's see. W still having a little issues over there. Yeah, that's kind of a ho-hum year for them. But I guess that's why Florida's so heavily favored. We'll see, man. It could be a smash fest. Vegas apparently thinks so. -9.5 for Florida. So that means you're basically saying this team's going to spank them hard. Maybe. That's a nice little, bet for you. If you're interested in it, I'm sure you get some good odds on a UConn money line. That game, and what's the other one I mentioned that was a potential upset? It was the New Mexico. New Mexico and UConn, I feel. I don't know if you really give UConn an upset, but being that it's Florida, that would make it the upset, especially that they're so heavily
Florida's
favored.
the best team in the country, man.
Right,
Maybe.
right. So being an 8 seed, it's like but because Florida's the best team, potentially, right? Arguably, that would be an upset alert for sure.
Yeah, it's an upset. I just it's tricky. Them being the defending champion doesn't have any bearing on the season. But on the the rankings and how the committee puts them in the brackets and all that, but
Yeah.
it's just they're an 8 and they're fighting a juggernaut tonight or this afternoon.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna fix myself real quick. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna do this live stream. So, let me just do this. Hold on, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. I'm just gonna fix my setup. So just talk for me a little bit, bro. There you go. Do you?
Yeah. So I mean, you covered a lot of the tournament, Matt. Because for a guy who claims he doesn't know what's going on, you did a good job, man. But you were talking about New Mexico. And was it Michigan State? And I mean, there's a lot of good matchups. All of the seeds who were supposed to be here are more or less here in the second round matchup. So, like I said, it should be a lot of good games. Yeah, man. So, I did not do great yesterday. And I mean, in the afternoon games, I started off well, and I did well on Friday. But yesterday, my little silly $3, 5 or 6 leg parlays, 5 for 6 on one of them, 4 for 5 on the other one. I mean, the parlays are murder, guys. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. Bro, like we're already flipping the coin 50-50 on a regular spread. On a regular freaking point spread bet. You're flipping a coin, the parlay. So now you parlay, you got 2 bets. So now your 50% turned to a 25. Now you're doing a 3-leg, your 25% turned to a 12% chance of winning. It looks like, I'm going to get this. But you have a 12% chance of winning a 3-leg parlay, and that's on even money.
Yeah,
per leg.
It's
What are we
really not
doing?
worth it. It's really not worth
And
it.
that is why when people put in $5 for my $5 parlay, $5, and you get 5 legs, and it says $95, that's because it's hard. It looks so sexy, and I'm talking from my own experience and my own vision. It looks so sexy, when you put in $6 or $3, and I'm gonna get 84. Yeah, my 4, your 4 picks ain't hitting, bro. They will, but they're going to hit after you lose 4 times. So you're not going to get it. You're going to lose.
Yeah,
They
or
know what
you
they're doing,
or you're
man.
gonna win once and think you know everything, and then
Oh,
you know
forget about it. That's why they say most trouble gamblers hit big early.
right.
Because you lose your money for the first few times you bet. That's why another thing with the algorithms, like I know gambling, I have gambling friends, maybe some of them have a little bit of a problem with it, maybe some of them don't. But the bottom line is they'll tell you, they'll be like, yo, if I don't gamble for a while, then I go on my phone and gamble. I always win when I come back. I said, they want you to win when you come back. It's in the algorithm. It's in the analytics.
Yeah,
We talk about analytics. They do analytics on ball games and baseball and war. They do analytics on gamblers and people's habits. They got people in Harvard doing all kind of, just watching us. That's why they always want to follow what we look at. And they're doing their due diligence to turn that into money. And that's what Vegas has been doing since they've been made, since Vegas was there. So and I'm gonna do a parlay anyway today.
With that being said,
yes,
I'm gonna smash a parlay anyway today.
I'm just telling you, like the real, bro. It's the truth, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I know myself. I can't.
This is a leisure, and you have to understand losing is part of it. You cannot, if the losing is beating you up, you can't be doing it, man. Like, no.
I've learned, at least with myself, I can't speak for everybody else, but my own experience with it, when I sniff a little bit success in terms of like gambling and things like that, I chase it.
That dopamine, man, start through.
It's really it doesn't matter how much I win or when I win it. It's the chase.
Winning.
It's the chase. It's that dopamine, like you said, that dopamine hit. It's like taking another line, man. It's freaking.
Bro, I hit for real. I hit that yesterday. I hit my first parlay. It was the same game parlay. Which game was it? It was the Big Ten game, the first one. It was the McNeese State. I think it was McNeese State.
I know you hit Drake. You called Drake.
The first weekend. Yeah, the first night I did good.
Yeah.
Thursday I did good. Yes. Yeah. I was hitting like a mother. I was taking, I didn't, you know why? Because I didn't do parlays on Thursday. I was winning Thursday, and I turned, I'm going to take this 20, and I'm going to do 5 $4 parlays. And none of them hit. And that was after, I won like $865 on Thursday. Friday, I probably, out of the 65, I probably lost like 11 with wins and losses. Mm-hmm. I do my little shit. I play around. I'm not trying to play more than these $40, $20 bets. I'll do a $20 bet on football on a Sunday or the big. I do what I can do. Like I said, like you said, you don't care about the money. You want to win.
Right.
But that's kind of a good thing though when it comes to gambling is wanting to win instead of caring about that bread and shit. Because the bread, if you're chasing that money, bro, God bless you, man. Good luck.
Well, you just got to know your limits. I mean, that's it. You just got to know what you're doing, your limits, and understand that. Hey, again, don't gamble beyond your means. Only gamble with money that you're willing to lose. But it's an industry for a reason. People are going to these casinos, these bookies. They're going to make money for a reason. So. You have to do it responsibly. You have to know.
Man, so they don't care. They'll give you a little bit extra. They'll let you have the 48% chance or the 41. But at the end of the day, they can cover the money.
And if you find yourself chasing, you find yourself asking, borrowing money, that's when it becomes a problem. Again, for me, it's like, I get that. It's that chase of the potential. I don't even care. Like, post big win. It's all right. Now I'm just thinking about what am I going to do with that money for the next bet, or
With me, man, losses, I'm out of here, bro. I like my money too much. So if I get my ass kicked, you won't see me in looking at the table for weeks.
Yeah.
I don't like how I was yesterday. If I go in today and I get my butt kicked, they take my $25. I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. I'm good. So
yeah.
So responsibly. It's easier said than done. Because it's everywhere, this gambling stuff. Before it was taboo, it was in the back rooms, in the back of the bodegas, wherever. But now, you can just be in your phone, gamble in front of everybody. At dinner, you can do it. With your. but it's becoming Americana. You got to be careful with it, man.
No, for sure. But again, with that being said, just to close on that, gamble responsibly. Don't bet beyond your means. It's fine to throw a couple of shekels you're willing to lose on it, but don't get crazy. Don't be calling up friends, borrowing money, this and that. Bet the mortgage. All right. I'm not against betting. People buy lottery tickets all the time. I think that's freaking stupid. All these scratch-offs. You're just burning your money most of the time. You have better chance of hitting a freaking parlay, actually. So, yeah, you want to throw $5 on a 15-leg parlay that might win you $40,000? Go ahead, by all means. It's better than a lottery ticket. Just don't be stupid. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Betting can be done responsibly for those that are responsible. You know what I'm saying? And that are aware of, their means. I don't bet like that because I just know myself. It's I wait. What I do, I wait for the big games. I throw a couple of shekels then. It's like, all right, Super Bowls, anything that's huge, like for the Final Four. Like for the March Madness, I'll probably wait till the Final Four or the final game. And then I'll do a little bet, just for the sake of, I'm watching it anyway, and, mess around, let me win a little something, So, that's all. Just be careful, all right? So, big part of today's show here in episode 12. We are a couple of days now away from the MLB official opening day. I know the season already started with Chicago and LA out in Tokyo. Which again I have my opinions about, but 2 games have already been played. Chicago's 0-2, LA 2-0. We want to go over today the NL Central and the AL Central, followed by next show we're going to do the NL West, AL West, and then we're going to finish it off with the AL East and NL East. So obviously, Dub being a Yankee fan, me being a Met fan, that's going to be a big one. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So that's going to come on opening day on Thursday. We'll do that. We're going to do the Central Divisions today, West on Tuesday, and we'll get ready for some baseball, man. It's good. I actually didn't look into it. I want to go to this game so freaking bad on Thursday. Now I'm thinking about... Oh, no. Right, what am I talking about? The Mets are not even here. There you go. So the Mets start the season in Houston, so they're not even going to be here. The first 6 of the games, they're on the first 6 games of the season, they're on the road.
That means you'll probably get a warm opening day.
Warmer for sure. I mean, it's definitely freaking. It's chilly this morning, bro. It was in the low 30s this morning, bro. I think some of my ice bath is freaking a little frozen. I think I got some ice on it, bro.
That's the point.
Yeah, no, that is the point. That is the point. I'm not disappointed, but what I'm saying, it's that's how cold it has been.
You got to break a sheet of ice with your toes to get in.
Oh no, I got the kettlebell. I just, bye. Smash the kettlebell on the ice. It's all good, baby.
What we got?
So with that being said, we're gonna hit the NL Central's season opening up real quick. Just I don't even think I think you and me talked about it privately, but I don't think I talked about it too much. Dub, you want to...
Yeah, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
I got this. I don't think I talked about it too much on the last show, but I really wanted to mention this whole opening day in Japan. Because, listen, I'm a huge baseball fan, played baseball growing up, into college, the whole 9. I'm locked in. I love it. Opening day is freaking... should be a national holiday. It's up there with, the day after the Super Bowl. That opening day is, it's America's pastime. I love being there. I love watching some baseball. But the fact that, the official start, outside of Thursday, the official start of the 2025 season being in Japan, 6 a.m. Eastern time. If you're out on the West, even worse. What, you waking up at 3 a.m. to watch this game? Especially on the West because it's an LA team playing in Japan. You got Shohei Ohtani, and I get it. That's the whole reason they're out there is Ohtani. They want to see him. It's a whole spectacle. It's amazing. He hits the home run. They go crazy, even though it was just like a a short little home run. It's a beautiful thing. It promotes the sport. Not that Japan really needs to promote baseball because it is, super popular over there. Has been for a long time. I guess, in the past you look back, Ichiro, things like that, there's reasons why it's as popular as it is, but there's always been an inherent love for baseball there. It's not like we're ever going to expand a franchise to Japan, so I don't even know why they feel it is necessary outside of just promoting their top players, right? Because, you got Shohei, you got some other, Japanese players as well.
The whole Dodgers.
Right. I get it. It makes sense. I'm not knocking going there and playing it. I know it's a long travel for the players, whether or not they're charter. It's still a super long flight. I know my wife has done it a couple of times. She was out there on school, so it's crazy. But to do that, to open up the season, man, it's like, why? Come on, why? Like, start the regular season. You want to do that a month in, 2 months in, all right, you do it. I don't know, what's the baseball schedule out there. I don't think it aligns with the Major League Baseball schedule here. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's an issue, and they couldn't schedule it otherwise. But it being the official start of the season, why? It makes no sense to me, especially when you have an LA team that's being featured there, and their main fan base, being on the West Coast, has to wake up at 3 a.m. in order to watch it. Really? Like, that's,
Yeah, 3 a.m. Yeah, the game starts
3
at 6
a.m., bro. It's 6 a.m. Eastern time.
I mean,
You know what I'm
said,
saying?
man, you said if you want to do it, go do it during the regular season. Do you still have to wake up at 3 a.m.?
No, that's okay, but, for it to be opening day, listen, for me, it's... Right, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, Matty, I think we're being nitpicking a little bit because, honestly, Dodgers are 2-0 right now, I guess. Can we really care, all right? I mean, it's
just the nostalgia because... Well, no, it's not
really
because they have to come to L.A. I don't know if they're opening up the season at home. I'm assuming they are, being the defending champs. But... again, right, there will be an official opening day for them, but, the fact that there's already 2 games played, and again, no, I'm sure some of them did. I'm sure some of them watched it in post. Not all of them would tune in at 3 a.m., bro. There's no way in hell.
So
what I'm saying? There's a lot of people.
You would have watched it?
Am I waking up at 3 a.m. to watch the Mets?
No, it would have been 3 a.m. for you. It would have been 6.
Oh. If 6 a.m., yes, 6 a.m. If I was on West Coast time, I don't think I would have woke up for that.
Like all of your beefs with it, I could, it's definitely not traditional, but I mean, all of the beefs with it, I can
Well, you haven't even heard all of the beefs with it, bro. I have more gripes about it.
Yeah, you have gripes. You have about 4 or 5 of them.
Well, there's more too because again, listen, when you look at the players and all, guess who wasn't playing? Mookie Betts. Freddie Freeman. Doesn't matter because the Dodgers are so freaking good anyway. They still won both games. But for them, it's middle of spring training. Those guys are not ready to go. They're just not. They're not ready to go.
Middle of spring training for a lot of guys in April.
It's kind of a throwaway series, bro. That's the problem I have with it. It's a throwaway series. It means
these 2 games with the Cubs.
But that's the problem though. And we're gonna go over it today. The NL Central. It matters more to the Cubs than it does for LA.
Them anyway. The Dodgers, they were Cub games. They were Cub home games, or one of them probably was, right? They probably gave each of them a home game, right?
Well, it doesn't matter. He was in Japan, but
they have to go out there, bro. They have to.
But that's what I'm saying. But when you're looking at the Cubs, it doesn't allow them enough time to prepare. And you think the Dodgers players weren't all ready to go. Cubs, same thing, bro. They got one. They're in spring training, right? Exactly, but
it would have been nice if they would have got one.
Who knows? Maybe if they had 2 fucking more weeks to prepare to get their players right.
The Cubs and the Dodgers knew they were gonna have these games, and if they cared,
I understand that, but they still work on a certain timeline, bro. I guarantee you, they don't like it.
Lineup. You can get a pitcher who's ready.
Of course you can. Of course, I'm not disputing that, and they did.
The league is sacrificing a lot. I understand that part to have these games out there, but they want to have the games. They need to have the games. They're trying to, like you said.
They don't need to have it out there. They
Why
don't.
not?
They don't. Why?
Why
They're
not?
not
I
expanding
don't
a
know.
franchise. It's not like the NBA. It's not like
It's
they're
not about expanding the franchise. You said it before. We can get
market it
clicks.
here, dude. Like
You get TikTok.
you can have the games later. That's what first 2 weeks of the
I think
season. You can have it.
they want more. If they can get 100,000 more eyes on the Dodgers in that country, it's worth it for them, and that's why they brought them out there. And they probably bring San Francisco or another team with a bunch of Japanese players in there next year. They know what it's definitely strategized. There's but I mean I do understand what you're saying, and it's kind of a little, but I just think we're nitpicking a little. But they want to market. They want to push their game, bro. And I know you're saying they're not going to expand out there. They're probably not. They're not. That's not the plan. It's not like NFL Europe, which I understand what you're
So
saying. But
I'm just looking at. I don't know if this is. I believe this is the main professional baseball league out in Japan. The Nippon Professional Baseball League, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, everybody. Just a quick search, but yeah, when you got teams like named Hiroshima, I believe so. The Nippon Hams, bro. I love this. It's great. They have games late March, so maybe they are aligned. Let me check standings. Maybe they are aligned. Yeah, their season's about to start. So they're potentially aligned with the regular season Major League Baseball. So that could be the issue, or it cannot. Like, there's got to be a way. You find a way to squeeze these games in at a later time, bro. I don't like the timing of it. At the end of the day, baseball, Major League Baseball is played in where? America, Canada, right? Let it start here. The first game's like, I feel like it's just like should start here. Like it's just weird to me. I don't know. It's not like a prideful American thing. It's just like, dude, this is an American baseball league. Like, do you think the first game should be played here? I'm all for going to Japan, promoting it, whatever, promoting the Japanese stars. It's a beautiful thing. Just don't do it right at the beginning of the bat. I don't know. First 2 weeks, bro. Anywhere else, anywhere but anywhere.
Problem is they're taking away opening day from me.
No, that's not the you're not. You're missing the complete point. That is not the main problem. The main problem is that these players are not getting enough ready. Those are throwaway games for Chicago Cubs. That's my main problem. The secondary problem is that for viewership it sucks, and for viewership it just doesn't make sense. Like, why start it then? Like it just. Yeah, because you're insane, bro. And you're waking up. You're waking up that early anyway. I'm not. Even when my daughter, kids are waking up early is 6:30. So I'm already. I'm already missing, the beginning of the game. I freaking woke up and forgot they were even playing. Why? Because, for one, it wasn't even marketed that great. Okay? On the socials, things like that. They need to do a better job of that. It seemed like it was just, like, I didn't even know where to freaking watch it outside of general cable.
It was on Fox, and then the second one was on FS1.
Yeah, you're a cable guy. What streaming services were they on? You know what I mean? Right. Like, where is the marketing with that? Like, I had no idea, and I'm kind of tuned into all of this, as you would think. Hosting a freaking sports show. I just think it's a shitty look on their part. Everybody else seemed to be okay with it, but I mean, I just think
I don't have like I said, I don't have a problem with you. I do think I'm with it, but I'm not dying like, oh, this is I don't think, we moved on. I mean, I know the Dodgers are 2-0 now, right? And I forgot that. Like, listen, opening day.
Yeah, but isn't that a little weird in itself? Like, oh yeah, okay, I forgot that they're 2-0. Like, opening day is gonna come on Thursday. It's already teams up 2-0.
They used to go to Japan with Ichiro there. The Yankees played out there.
For sure, but not that early,
bro. It wasn't the 20th. It was like the 27th.
Yeah, but that was, and again, that's, just because they've done that before.
Yeah. I think they played Tampa out there one time in the last 20 years, and I think they played Seattle out there.
Again, it's probably because it seems like the Japanese Professional League lines up almost exactly with the American Major League Baseball. Right. So,
I think going out there in the middle of the season would be worse for a team. No?
I don't understand how it's better mid-spring training. I don't
No,
know how. I don't.
bro.
You know what I mean?
think it's
I
more
can't make
going
that
out there in
argument.
June,
I
in the
can't
middle
make
of the
that
season,
argument.
going out there in June, taking that 14-hour flight, 12, whatever it is,
Right
in June.
before the All-Star break.
Yeah, it'd be a lot. Yeah, and they would take away people's All-Star. All-Star break's
But
getting taken away, and it's now or never. I
no, I'm
really
not
think it's
saying you
now or
take
never.
away the All-Star break. I'm saying right before the All-Star break, then you give those
Oh, like
teams that
before the break,
traveled.
yeah.
You give those teams that traveled. Those
An
would
extra
be the
day.
games. Yeah, maybe an extra day, or they just go into their break. So I
They
don't know.
seem like they
Like
really want to do it though, so there's probably a
yeah,
better way to do it. But they're
it
gonna do
has to
it,
be. Yeah,
and we have to respect that part of it. They're gonna do it, man. And it's not hurting them. It's definitely. It might not be benefiting them exponentially, but
that's all I'm saying.
not hurting
It's
them.
not. I don't think it. You're right though.
Mookie
Maybe.
traveled with the Dodgers.
What happened?
Did Mookie travel?
No, he
Was
did
he
not.
there?
No, he did not.
Yeah, he didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, Mookie, you good.
Yeah.
He didn't want to
Okay.
go.
Again, and maybe if it's mid-season, he's there. That's Mark is Mookie's a big
He'll be there.
outside of the Japanese players, Mookie's a big
Shohei is there. They
yeah.
they're good. They don't need Mookie there. Shohei and the gang and what's his name? The pitcher. They're all there.
Showed the Dodgers pitcher.
Yeah, the one that was supposed to come to the Mets. Guy's name.
Forget it.
I'm too old, man. I forget all these guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Let's do our preview, man. Let's do
Feeling
our preview,
freaking
man.
nauseous right now. Oh my
Talking
god.
about the Japan games for half an hour. Let's do our preview, bro.
You're making me nauseous. Yamamoto.
Yamamoto.
Yeah.
The one who didn't come to the Mets.
All right. So, would you like to start first with the NL Central? We'll start there. We'll start there. I got some notes on it. Right now with the NL Central. Okay, I'm looking on team rankings. You can find other projections elsewhere. I'm using teamrankings.com. Okay, pretty reliable source with them. Right now for the NL Central, and again, Chicago already off to an 0-2 start, so that is noteworthy there. They are projected to be the first place winners with a total of 85 wins. Milwaukee projected to be second place. They have them 82.7, so round up 83 wins. What happened?
Who's this according to?
This is teamrankings.com.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's their projections.
These are projections. Yes. Cincinnati 79.2 wins, so essentially 79 wins. St. Louis 76 wins, and Pittsburgh.
I don't think they're any good.
And Pittsburgh 75.3, so round down
They're better than the
75.
Cardinals, bro. You heard
Who,
me?
Pittsburgh?
Yeah, the Cardinals are pretty bad.
Well, you want to talk about it? You go. You got the floor, bro.
All right, I'll give you my NL Central. I'm gonna start.
Stuff over
I'm
here.
gonna get my stuff together. I'm gonna start by ranking or start in order. My order will be by the standings, last year's 2024 standings. So I will start from the bottom to the top. Okay. And last year the Pirates were in last place. They finished 76 and 86. Okay, so they lost Aroldis Chapman. They got Tommy Pham. I'm sorry. They got Tommy Pham.
Yep.
Okay. They got Chapman. This pitching staff is very good for this team, all right? You got schemes. You got what's my man's name?
Skeens is the best pitcher in the world.
Yeah, schemes. You got the lineup is pretty solid. You got Reynolds in there. And you got O'Neal Cruz, right?
No, O'Neal's Cruz is Cincinnati. You talking about
No, that's the other
You can
Cruz.
talk about.
That's the other Cruz in Cincinnati.
What are you talking about?
You talking about the other Cruz?
O'Neal,
in
yeah.
Cincinnati.
You're right. That's Ellie. You got O'Neal Cruz out in center. Yeah.
Right. Him and Reynolds are very good. McCutcheon's a vet. He's there. Tommy Pham is there. The lineup is solid if these guys stay healthy. But their pitching staff is very good. It's very young. It's very strong. Even without schemes, they have a lot of young, talented arms that we'll see in that division. I think they're gonna be their over under is 76. I think, and they won 76 games last year. I think they're going to win about 79, 80. You know, I think this division is going to be solid overall. So Pirates, I think they're going to win about 80 something games.
What's the number? You gotta give me a number.
80 and 82. You can mark it down if you want.
No, I'm just
80
gonna
and
put
82.
I'm gonna put the wins. 80 wins for Pittsburgh. Where you think they're gonna fall in the division, or you want to give that later?
I can just tell you on my camera. They're gonna be in fourth place or no third. I got Cincinnati and St. Louis behind them. Okay, but shit, I should just win order of the division then. So
That's all right.
I'm gonna do that.
However,
I'm gonna
order you go team by team.
Yeah,
It's
I'm gonna
fine. I'm
go,
all writing it down. It's all good.
Yeah, so the Cardinals last year, 83 and 79. I talked about them. I said I don't think they're gonna be very good last year. They lost Goldschmidt. They lost Lance Lynn, who's been very effective pitcher. And Kyle Gibson. They added Phil Maton. The lineup is pretty solid. Arenado, declining Arenado. Their lineup is not the problem, Matt. Their problem is the pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny Gray, they got Sonny Gray there, and he's solid. He's their ace. Cool. He should be fine there. And then you got Eric Fetty as well. After that, it is like Steven Matz is their fourth starter, bro.
Who was effective last year?
Fetty, Matz was, but
Yeah, again, I mean, he had a 5.08 ERA, but he's so far during spring 2.29. He can go out, eat some innings for you. Yeah,
he can. He throws a lot of pitches and everything gets hit. A lot of contact. Ryan Hensley, the best save-wise reliever in the world. 49 saves, led the league, but he's not gonna get 49 saves next year. I think the Cardinals are gonna win 75 games. The last place with the Reds, them and the Reds. I think the Reds, the division's very good. It's hard when we talk about the Cincinnati Reds, they're another team. There's certain coaches in sports who matter big time. And Francona's one of them, Terry Francona. He's one of them. They lost Ahmed Rosario. They lost Justin Wilden. Who else we got here? But they got Trevino, they got Tyler Ross, and they got Austin Hayes to add to the team. Eli De La Cruz, the guy has an 8 WAR. He makes your team better. He's one of those guys who if he's not on the team, they're losing that many more games. Mm-hmm. He does it all. Last year, 36 doubles, 10 triples, 25 home runs, 47 or 67 stolen bases. I mean, he's a dynamo. Hunter Green, what can I say? He had a 2.7 ERA last year. He's a real ace. They picked up Nick Martinez. He's a good pitcher. Nick Martinez, formerly Padre. He's honed his skills the last 3-4 years in a couple places, but he's solid number 3 guy. The Reds, these are solid baseball teams, Matt. The NL Central. I said it again. I think it's a real solid division. I think the Reds will win about same thing with the Pirates. I mean, I'm going to take the Pirates 78 games and the Reds around the 70, same thing. 78, 79 for the Reds. Give me the Pirates 79 wins, Reds 78. Cardinals 75.
Oh, hold on. You're saying that it's a good division, but then you got these guys below 80 wins, bro.
You got all 500 teams. What do you mean?
So what do you think? Pirates are going to be, you for one, you said it was 80 wins before. So they're saying 79? I don't think that's solid.
79, yeah.
I think it's a weak division. I think it's probably one of the weakest out there. But yeah.
What you think? You think the AL Central's great with the White Sox in there? That's a big time division.
No, the Centrals suck. Both Centrals suck.
All right.
Yeah. So what you got? Pirates 79 or 80? Where you go?
79, 78, 75. Pirates, Reds, St. Louis.
So you got 78 wins for the Reds.
Yeah. They got a good pitching staff, but the Pirates got a lot of young arms. I think there's going to be a star emerging out of there. They got like 3 or 4 guys. And these guys are not going to be able to keep going for later on, but it's the Pirates. But they're going to have one of those good renaissance seasons, and then people are going to pilfer their roster, start trying to pilfer them, as the big teams in baseball usually do with the Pirates roster. So I got the Brewers. They're going to finish second. They finished what the Brewers do last year. I think the Brewers had 93 wins. 93 and 69. They have an over-under of 83.5 this year. I mean, they lost Adames, they lost Montas, Joe Ross, Colin Ray, and then, of course, Devin Williams of the Yankees. They got Nestor Cortez. They got a couple other arms. Losing Devin Williams, he was hurt last year for them. And McGill came in there. He had an ERA like 2.8, which is not fantastic for a closer, but he had 21 saves. He closed the door. He strikes people out, so they should be all right there. The Brewers, they have this thing about them where they can fix rosters and they can get the most out of pitching staffs. Kind of like what the Mets, I've been saying the Mets are trying to do and think they can do. The Indians are like that too. You know, these teams could just build these rosters out of nowhere. And you're like, where do you know? And then next thing you know, July, that they have a real good staff. And the Brewers are like that as well, in my opinion. But 93 wins last year, no, they won't be getting near that. I'm gonna give them the over 83.5. I'm gonna give them 85 wins.
Okay.
Yeah. And finally, Chicago Cubs, got them finishing first. The 0-2 Chicago Cubs, first place. They will be in first place. They're in last place now. I'm pretty sure about that. They lost Michael Topman. They lost Jose Lopez last year. They got John Birdie, very versatile player, as we know. They got Justin Turner, very good hitter, as you know.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker, of course.
Yeah.
The big trade
one.
with the
That's a
Astros.
big one too. Kyle Tucker, yeah.
And Kyle Tucker is a free agent, so he's going to be looking for that money.
He signed a 1-year deal with them?
No, he wasn't a free agent. He got traded.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's looking for money. He's getting up on it. I think this is the year. This is the big money year. Because he came in the league the year after Soto, so this is him now. He did arbitration. He's done all of it.
Yeah.
So
kind of expected a big year from him.
Fantasy owners.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's ranked on the board. I'm probably not playing fantasy this year, probably not, because people are scared to have me in their leagues. You know, put that in the cuts, because they don't want no smoke with me. I'm one of the best ever. But if you're gonna go get someone, someone's gonna play. Guys don't get hurt when their money's up the next year most of the time. So
Yeah.
those little training room injuries seem to go away. And Kyle's a professional. He's gonna have a monster season. Monster. And they're like, I take that back. When I said, the division's strong, it's a solid up through down. There's no perennial team or dangerous team, but they all can beat. That's what I should say. They're not. I don't think it's weak either, Matt.
I agree with you. I think I was being a little too strong with it.
Right, and I was too.
I was overlooking my projections. I'm like, wait, I don't think they're as weak as I'm putting on. Especially more so Chicago and Milwaukee, like everybody else. Yeah, but
I think Cincinnati and Pittsburgh are dangerous, and the Cardinals are Cardinals.
They'll give you a hard time, but I think
potential to have a Royals-like season last year. You know what I mean? That's right. That's what I think, and I think the other one will hover around 500. I don't think there's going to be an awful 60-win team in the division. The Pirates win 60 games all the time. So and I'm giving them 79. So yeah. That's and the Cubs. What else I got on the Cubs? What else I got on them to give to give you guys?
Wait, so what was the number on the Cubs? I apologize.
The over under, they won 83 last year. The over under this year is 85.
No, but what do you?
I got him over. I'm gonna give him 87 and win the division.
87.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and me are pretty close, Sam. Yep. All right. I like that. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're not too far off in terms of our prediction with that.
More than with Matt, a little bit more with the Cubs.
Yeah.
Matt Boyd Matt Boyd last year only 8 starts. He was hurt. He came on late. He had a 2.7 ERA, and he had 46 Ks. And I think he was 6-2, or 5-2 or something like that. They were very good, and he has great stuff. And if he's healthy and everything's a go, he's going to be emerging as well. Another fantasy guy, Matt Boyd.
Yeah, and then on top of that, you have I'll get into it as well, but you got Shoto, you got Jameson Taillon, and then Justin Steele as well. Right. So pretty good rotation there. I think it has a lot of potential. Justin Steele having a 3.07 ERA, got smacked around though. As we know, against the Dodgers, only 4 innings and 11.25 ERA. Was he? I don't think he was the opening day starter. I think it was Shoto. No, yeah, I think Shoto went game 1.
Right.
and Justin Steele went game 2 there. But again, Steele coming off a really good season.
Inuwaga?
Yeah.
Inuwaga? Yeah, I'm sure they pitched him in the Japan game.
Yeah. No, he did. I believe he pitched game number 1.
Good.
Justin Steele was game number 2.
The Dodgers got runs late in it. Yeah. The Dodgers don't have to score because they got that pitching.
Right. So,
Then
yeah,
they start
all right.
scoring and they can't
So that's
stop.
Dubby's predictions there. So just a recap of that. Dubby's got the NL Central. He's got Cubs coming in first place. Brewers second, 85. Cubs with 87 wins, winning the division, which, for a win total, it's kind of like middle of the pack. It's, it's not super sexy. But it's one that the Cubs, it's really for the taking. When you look at it,
It's understandable, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they really, it's right there for the taking this year. I think the main competition, and I think we both agree, is going to be between them and the Brewers. But, you have a team like the Pirates, maybe they can make an addition or two.
They have a lot of strong pitching, man.
You
got veterans like Kutch, if they could stay healthy and help the younger players.
Yeah. The problem is with Pirates, they don't have that offense. I like their outfield position players. So there is a bit of potential that offense could do well, but you're relying on a lot. Love me some Brian Reynolds. O'Neill, you talked about
Bart. They got a player, Joey Bart, another young guy who came in on her late.
Yeah.
261, 11 doubles, 12 home runs in after August. So, he's playing every day. Baseball, a lot of this time, as soon as they hit the ground running and someone takes off, oh, look at that, then they do it. Like the Tigers last year or whoever,
There's usually one team that finds a way to surprise us, so that's for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so going over my predictions, where am I going to start? I guess I'll just start where I started at. All right. So, Milwaukee Brewers, obviously coming off a great year. This is a team that, had expectations of going deep in the playoffs. My Metsies found a way to shut them down and sneak a victory in the playoffs with Pete Alonso. We showed that on one of the shorts in the recent videos we put out there. Pete Alonso with the big 3-run homer, ending Devin Williams in that Milwaukee team.
Yeah,
and
you bring that up every show, bro.
It was one of the beautiful moments, bro. I cried. I was literally in tears when it happened. It was a beautiful playoff moment, Well, I had my reasons for why I cried, bro.
I got pumped up. I got pumped up. I would cried if I was you.
Well, you got to remember, my son died in September, so, it was,
Bro, listen, bro. You don't have to get, I get you.
It was very emotional, that playoff run for me and the Metsies, but, So, again, coming off a huge year, I don't know if they're going to be as good as they were last year. Like you said, it's hard to do that, and, I got some question marks. Like Freddie Peralta, not off to a good start here in spring, looking a little shaky. Last year, 3.68 ERA. Got Nestor Cortez. All right, we know a lot about Nestor over here in New York, but... he's got the potential to be effective or just be miserable. 3.77 ERA last year for him. Aaron Savali, 4.36 ERA last year. I like Jose Quintana. So far in the spring, 3.60 ERA, looking good. 3.75 ERA last year. I think, he has a lot of potential as well. Woodruff, phenomenal year, coming off a great year. I don't know if he could duplicate it, though. I think Woodruff, it drives this pitching rotation. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to do his thing. 2.28 is hard to duplicate. All right? It's hard to duplicate. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I think, might run into some issues. And again, with the Cubs, I think they got better. So, this starting rotation, it has a lot of potential, but I think it's going to be put to the test. I think it's going to be put to the test for sure. Bullpen, got too much crazy options. That's another thing, too. Losing Williams, that's a big loss for them. So, you right now, what do you got coming out of this bullpen right now? Piamps, McGill, not the days of Hayter or Williams for sure. Position players, we're aging. William Contreras, Reese Hoskins, Yelich, those are your big guys. Yelich, still getting it done last year. Not a super big sample size, only 270 at-bats, but he did bat 315, obviously DHing. You're relying on a
Power
lot.
numbers are down with Yelich a little bit. He's not the same power.
They have been. He's not the same player, hasn't been
No.
for years now.
He can hit, but his power has definitely waned.
For
He's
sure.
315.
For
and
sure.
then the injury thing with him.
Where's the pop in this lineup? Where is that? That's a bit of my concern. When you're looking at the division as a whole, I still think they'll match up well. They'll win some games. I think their strength is their pitching. But we know that could change too. Any team is one or two injuries away.
Matty, the Mets, the Indians, and the Brewers. There's another team. It might be Minnesota. Those 4 teams, they know how to cultivate pitching staffs with anything. And they've proven it. And I just want, you got to give them. That's why they probably wanted to get Nestor. They probably think we're going to bring him in the National League. No one's seen him. We're going to get a big year out of him. I believe them.
It's possible, but again, you're kind of banking on a little bit. But he's a nice fit for this rotation because again, he's not the guy you're solely relying on. He's basically in this rotation. I put him as like the 4th guy. I don't know where they have him slotted right now, but I would go Woodruff, probably either Quintana. I would go Woodruff, Quintana, or Peralta. I think either one of them are rotatable, in the 2 or the 3 slot. And then, you go Cortez and Savali, or Savali Cortez. I think that would be the rotation there. So this rotation is actually deep. I think they could do well. They match up well with even my Mets rotation, you know what I'm saying? So, and Brewers always seem give the Mets some issues as well, so I think they'll do okay in this division, but I don't have them topping out. I don't. I have them coming in at 2nd place. Excuse me. 86 wins. All right, I think what was the number before that I was looking at according to team rankings? They have them pretty low, man. Team rankings has this whole division relatively low. You got 82.7 wins, so basically 83. So I'm giving them a substantial, 3 more wins there. I think they'll be good. I think they might find a way into the playoffs. They'll be right there fighting for a wild card.
Milwaukee?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, 6 teams, right?
Yeah, I mean, they'll be right there. It's going to be close stuff for them. I think depending on how the other divisions fall, it might be a little tight for them, all right? So that's my prediction on Milwaukee.
The National League is better than the American League, man.
Yes, for sure. Now we're going to go through it. Cardinals, projection, according to team rankings, got 76 wins, all right? Not a lot to love with this Cardinals team, and according to team rankings, that would, basically a tie for last place. I don't know. In terms of their starting pitching, it's weak, man. It's weak. When Sonny Gray's your guy, and I know Sonny Gray is coming off a great year. Surprising numbers, but I think it's a bit of an overachiever. Eric Fetty, like him, but who knows? I don't know. If
I
he
love
could,
Sonny Gray, man. Just not in New York.
Nah, Sonny Gray's great, and coming off a miraculous year, bro. Like I just can't.
He's been good everywhere except for New York. He's been good everywhere, man. He kind of reminds me of Greinke.
He's got weird stuff, man. He's got weird stuff,
like
yeah.
He's not, I don't know if he's diagnosed like Greinke, but he seems like he really likes things low key, and St. Louis is the place for that. I expect him to do well. But continue, carry on, my friend.
Dan, good morning. How you doing? Gamer Expert Solution, what's up? Thank you for dropping by in the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. Dan, how's your day going? It's a beautiful Sunday for us.
It is.
Thank you
Danny,
for stopping by. Where was I at? Right, Sonny Gray. Listen, 3.84 ERA last year. Yeah, that's good for him. All right. Spring training right now, he's 0-3, 14.1 innings with a whip over 2, and he's a 12.56. So he's definitely working out the kinks right now, obviously.
As he should. Thank God he didn't have to go to Japan.
Yeah. I hate you.
I know.
Yeah.
I love you.
Again, the starting pitching on this team is not their strong point. When Sonny Gray's your number one guy, as much as I like him, that's tough. All right, you're asking a lot from Fetty. You're asking a lot, guys, from Mikolas, from Mats. They're certainly 1 or 2 injuries away from just being a dreadful year.
For sure.
Just a dreadful year.
Arenado's gonna get traded, man. There's no way.
He may, but they always say that with Arenado. It's like, yeah.
He's got a no trade clause, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure he does.
Even if he did, he's tradable. I'm sure they could get him, and he'll move if it's the right fit.
Yeah.
I don't think he has any intentions of doing so. But I don't see why you wouldn't want to go to a contender. You know what I'm saying? Instead of staying out in St. Louis. Gamer, yep, see you busy. Yeah, man, we're doing our thing over here. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you, Gamer.
If you, you got anything you want us to talk about, So add me on Discord so that I can catch you when you are live. All right. I get you. I'm not going to mess around right now. I'm going to add you right now. Right here.
Yeah, Matty can be elusive sometimes.
I'm going to follow you here. Hit me up, yo. The Discord is, for me, Epis Radio. All right. Or is it actually? Hold on. I could be wrong about too. Because
it's
It's Epis Sports on Discord, right?
It's Epis Sports.
It is, yeah.
You never changed it.
Yeah, let me just check real quick, Gamer. Oh, my shit just says Epis. What does this show for you, Dub?
It's Epis Sports, hashtag 4020.
Okay,
Epis
yeah.
Sports.
It's Epis Sports for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gamer, hit me up. Send me a direct message or even on the, I'll write your stuff down right here. But even on Instagram, hit me up. I got my page, Epis Benedetti. I got, the Epis Radio page on Instagram as well. YouTube, whatever, man. I'll write your name down. But yeah, for sure. You send me a message on Discord. I'm on there too, Epis Sports. Part of the Shiv Nation Discord. That's the emblem right there.
That's where you're gonna find him, bro. He's gonna hit you back. Instagram.
I'm on Discord too, though. These days,
okay.
I've been super active on there. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, Gamer. We have officially hit 50 followers here on Twitch.
Wow, there you go.
All right, we are officially a Twitch affiliate, ladies and gentlemen. Pop the champagne. We got there. It took a while, but we got there. We are Twitch affiliates. Thank you, Gamer, for the follow. I appreciate that. I don't have all the bells and whistles and the thing, but that's coming. That's coming. We did
it. We did it.
It's a beautiful thing, man. I appreciate that follow, Gamer. Thank you for stopping by. We were just going over our MLB predictions. This is the first segment of a 3-part segment we're doing leading up to opening day on Thursday. Well, the official, I don't know what you want to call it, opening day, because the season already started.
Please,
in Japan.
Man. you spit your piece, and I just opening day. Call it. Come on. Don't
the American opening day. All right. So where was I? Was going over the Cardinals again. Listen, the Cardinals not expected to do well.
They're gonna suck.
Right? They're gonna suck. We know this. All right. It'd be a surprise if this team finds a way to win 80 games. Right? I think that's safe to say. Team ranking got them at 76. That might even be high for them. This could be a low. This could be a low 70 win team. This could be a low 70 win team, bro. You
got them last place too, then.
I do not. Actually.
You got one of those upstart teams below them?
I do. I actually have them at 76 wins. I do. I was going with team rankings here, and not just because team rankings got it, but I have St. Louis at 76 wins, falling in 4th place. You'll find out who I have.
Got 5. I'm going to fight for them.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got them there. Yeah. I mean, listen, we're only one win off. You got them at 75. All right. I got them at 76. It's just my predictions. Yeah. Otherwise, with the Reds, yeah, that's where that changes up there. So,
all right, let's hear it.
Yeah, so let's go into that. Next one up is... Hold on. Is Chicago, right? Yes. So the Chicago Cubs, off to the 0-2 start. No need to panic, Cubbies, Cub fans. All right, you're going to be okay. Right now on team rankings, projected to win the division at a low number at 85 wins. All right, that's their prediction. I'm going with the over on that. All right, I got the Cubs winning the division. All right, and I got them winning by 2 games over Milwaukee with 88 wins. Okay, so I'm giving them 3 more wins. Let's see what you gave them. You gave them 87.
What did I give them?
You gave them 87. You were 1 off. All right.
And I gave the division.
You gave them the division, first place, 87. The second place was 85 with the Brewers that you had. So,
same thing. Two. All right, we're in the same place.
yeah, we're right there. We're just a game off each team. You just think it's a game less in that sense. Again, Chicago, I think they're going to excel. They might even be a 90-win team. They really might. I think they have that potential. You know, who knows what happens throughout the season, whether they can acquire another player. Cubs are kind of that franchise. They have a big draw to them, and right now, I think they're the favorites, especially according to team rankings going into this division, going into this year. I think so personally. When you're looking at this lineup, let me just pull it up here on my computer. When you're looking at this team, all right, starting pitching is good. I like it. Steele. Solid pitcher, all right. Last year, 3.07 ERA. The win-loss record, you could throw that out the window. We know how that goes. But 134 innings, 135 strikeouts. Whip low with a 1.10. Okay, that's important, man. 24 games started for this guy. He was out there, all right. 3.07 ERA. That is steady, okay. That's steady from a guy that, I guess I would put Shoto up there as, the perennial number 1. But Steele's right there. Steele's right there in the mix. Jameson Taillon, a lot to be expected from him. 3.27 ERA last year, okay? 165 innings, 125 strikeouts. Whip with a 1.13. Also, those are great numbers. I'll take that. I'll sign on the dotted line for that today if I'm a Chicago fan, all right? So, already with that, with Taillon, you know what Shoto is capable of doing. Even though Shoto's got kind of aged there a little bit, but, now is his prime, which is the reason why I like it. And you got these guys, lefties, Steele, Imanaga. It's interesting. I know Shoto... how'd he do? Let's see. How'd he do in that game? 4 innings. They didn't go very long. Both pitchers for the Cubs, they went 4 innings in that one. He only had 2 strikeouts. It's kind of a ho-hum, 4-inning performance. He got him through. Didn't give up anything, or at least credited to him. So, off to a good start for him. And listen, 2.91 ERA last year, 173 innings. Started almost just 1 game shy of 30 games. All right, strikeouts 174. He's a strikeout guy, 1 per inning basically. Whip 1.02. I mean, come on, 1.02 whip. Right there, right, with the whips alone with the starting pitching. It's pretty good. Now, the National League's deep. And that's where, they're not going to run into problems in this division outside of Milwaukee. I mean, Pittsburgh, yeah, they give you a little hard time. Again, Cincinnati might, edge out a win or 2 against you. I really wouldn't worry about St. Louis for them. They're the team to beat in this division. When you look at, their position players, the addition of Kyle Tucker, we talked about. Their closer, by the way, I forgot to mention that, Ryan Presley. All right, good bullpen there. Good bullpen. Catching position, not much to scream out there. Don't really need too much production at that point. First base, all right, Michael Bush. Justin Turner, if he wants to, he could rotate over there. You got Nico Horner, who I like. I like Nico Horner. Definitely some potential from, man. Let's see his numbers last year with Nico. I don't want to be dragging this on. Dubs somewhere. I don't know if my man is alive.
I can hear you. My camera's acting crazy.
Oh, is it
But I
really?
can hear you. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're coming in
You
and
hear
out.
me clearly. Yeah. I'm coming in and out bad too.
No, you're good. You're good. I guess it's just the camera. I had the
Yeah,
solo
I
seat
don't know
up,
why.
so I wasn't sure.
I don't know why because my light is on this time, so I don't know why it's just spinning. But whatever. Let's just keep it moving, bro. We got to keep it rolling.
Oh, I am. I got you. Yeah, I don't want to. Let me know if I'm spending too much time on each team, but we want to get through the segment. I'm assuming this will be the last segment of the show. So yeah, again, Nico Horner, not bad. 273 last year. Let's see how many at bats. 582. So he played. Good numbers. Nothing spectacular. Not a huge power guy, but just solid. Matt Shaw over there at third. Dansby Swanson, shortstop. Ian Happ, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Kyle Tucker. You got Say need a good year from Say as well. I think, there's a lot of expectations for him. 283, 21 home runs. See if he can add on to that, and really do his thing. So far this spring, 3 home runs, 242 average. Not bad, So, let's see. I like the Cubs. I like them, especially in this division. I don't know about, come playoff time for them. I don't think they have any huge, but they'll be there. They'll be there. They'll be in the mix. I definitely. I have them winning the division. So, but I think they're gonna run into some trouble eventually. But who knows, man? 1 or 2 more additions to this team, you may bolster that lineup a little bit. I think the pitching staff is a strength for them. But they need to add a couple more pieces maybe to really elevate. And who knows? Maybe even in the bullpen just to tighten up that pitching. And they could be a dominant team, potentially. I haven't made 88 wins. There's no reason why they can't be, 90, 91, maybe even a 92er. So that'd be interesting there. Real quick, let me check what time. How we doing on time, man? We're a little, hour and 40. Yeah, we were streaming for an hour and 40 now. Yeah.
That's great. We're gunning for 12. That's what we were gunning for. We came on pretty decent time, almost on time.
Yeah, I know. We still got to do the AL Central, though. We might have to.
It's going to be quick, bro, because the White Sox, we're not going to spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah. Let me just run through this. So Cincinnati. All right, that's for me. Cincinnati right here. I got them at 74 wins, coming in last place. All right, there's not much to talk about with them. Again, a lot of I like Hunter Green, Singer, Alexis Diaz, Short, Brett Suter, but it's just when you look at this lineup, it's a bunch of holes outside De La Cruz, bro. And De La Cruz, he's kind of up and down himself. He's got so much talent, the kid, but consistency is a question mark. But there's holes all over the place. First base, left field, center field, right field. Yeah, that's what I mean. And he's your guy. Like, he's the only guy right now.
On the team, yeah.
You got Matt McClain, Gavin Lux. It's like there's just holes all up and down this lineup. And on top of that, it's not like the pitching's deep. They're going to fall, man. This team could be dreadful. Low 70s for sure. I have them at 74 wins. But I could even see them being one of the worst teams in all of baseball.
You think Terry Francona team will be a bad team like that? You don't think
just talent? It's not even about Francona. I love Francona. It's just I do. The talent is that bad. I do think the talent's that bad. I know you got him at 78 wins, but you still 4th place there.
Under 78, bro. Go for it then, bro.
Yeah.
Put the shekels on the under then, bro.
On the under for that. Yeah, I don't like Cincinnati here. Yeah,
I'll argue you all day, but you're making me second guess myself over here.
It's interesting that we're a little wide on that one. Yeah. Oh,
I'm giving them 74 wins, but then you said if they went under 70, I wouldn't be surprised. That is what hurt my heart.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for sure. Okay. Yeah, no, because this team's not deep, bro. I mean, again, injuries happen. We know it. Baseball, I mean. And then just bad play overall. This lineup sucks. I mean, where are we getting the offense? Pitchers can just go in and pitch around Cruz and forget about it. They don't even need to worry about him, bro. Like, if they really want a game plan like that, that's just my perspective on it. But So that's that. When Pittsburgh, real quick, I like Pittsburgh more. I do. I have them at third place, 82 wins. Okay.
You give them 82 wins. Yo,
82
so,
with
hey.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
And I love
82.
them, and I gave them 80.
I got
So,
79.
right.
Your final decision was 79
right,
on
I
it.
changed it to 79. You're right.
Yeah. 82 wins, third place. So I got 3 teams in the NL Central, 82 and up with the wins. Obviously, the first and second place teams being a little bit wide margin there, you know. But I got Pittsburgh there.
Your fifth place team being a 70 to 74 win team in your mind. That's pretty solid division. You can go
It's
in
not
there
bad. It's a
from
kind of
another
middle of
division.
the pack, yeah.
Right,
I want to see.
Right. You can go in there from another division and play a 3-game set with Pittsburgh and Milwaukee and lose 4 games fast and get your ass kicked, you know?
Right. It's not. I know. I was wrong for saying it was like super weak over there before.
And I was wrong for saying it was fucking great.
You know, yeah. It's a middle of the pack division. I think it has the potential. It has the potential to go middle of the pack or weak. But I think it's more leaning with the Cubs, Brewers, and the up and coming of, you know, some of these
Pittsburgh
players on the Pirates. You know, the Pirates.
All right, so that's what we share. We share our interest and we got that eye on them. On
For
the
sure,
black and yellow.
for sure. So that's it. You know, I won't be keeping everybody too long. We got 15 minutes till 12. That is the mark of the end of the show for today. So, Dub, let's get your AL Central. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. I'm going to pop everything up over here.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the White Sox. 41 and 121, one of the worst records in the history of baseball. A game that's been played over 100 years. Yeah. The Pirates. So they lost Gavin Sheets and they lost Moncado. They acquired Mike Tauchman. They acquired Joey Galloway. They traded their ace Garrett Crochet to Boston, kind of like they did with Chris Sales many years ago, for a boatload of prospects. So you know what they're doing. They're trying to win more than 41 games, and they're trying to develop players. Also, what else I got on them?
Yeah, this might be.
This is going to be a build.
This might be the worst
obviously.
division in baseball. I don't know.
You know what's crazy? The Twins were 82 and 80 last year in 4th place, and they had 3 playoff teams.
What did you say was the number that you had for the White Sox? Not that your personal prediction, but what was the projection?
The over-under?
Yeah, the win.
It's 53.
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
Right. After winning one having the worst seasons
That's
ever
insane.
in the league, and he only getting 12 more games.
I was wrong.
53, bro.
Chicago's definitely the worst team. You're right. Like, I'm not. Because I was just saying that freaking Cincinnati has the chance to be. But you're right. Chicago is definitely. I mean, that's hard, bro. That's hard to pick a 50. Even if it's 54, because how do you not go over that? I agree. That's you're projecting this team to lose 108 games. I mean,
yeah, more.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah, more.
It would be 108. That would be if it was 54. It would be 108.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. So, what's your prediction with them? I mean, like, it's so hard, man. You know, like.
Man, yeah.
That's crazy. It's like, how do you not pick like a 65 or something?
Their best player is probably the center fielder, Luis Robert. He's gonna get dealt. He's about 27, 26, speedster, a little pop, you know.
Yeah.
Man, you know. So all right, so 50 wins.
Yeah, Gino said that Gallo wants to pitch. I know. I seen that. I heard
you for real.
You didn't hear about Joey Gallo?
Team. No. That's why I'm glad Gino's here. Bro,
oh wow,
this is a bad team.
You didn't hear about Joey Gallo? Yeah, bro. He announced that he's I don't know if he's still on the team, but he announced that he's
on the team.
He announced that he's a starting pitcher now, or that he's going for it. And apparently, there's word that he's throwing upwards of like 97 miles per hour. which, you know, honestly, not for nothing. For teams that need some pitching, you know, I'd invite him for a little tryout just to see, you know, what he's got potentially. Mob, what up, bro? Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, he is a free agent.
Thanks for helping out this morning. Yeah, he went free agent. I think because of the position player thing, and then was he let go or did he leave? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'd take a flyer out on them. Wouldn't that be something? The Yankees, they need pitching. Let's Joey Gallo. Let's have a reunion.
Yeah, okay, I get it. Because March 16th, Gallo requested and was granted his unconditional release from the organization.
Okay.
Following his release, Gallo announced his intentions to convert into a pitcher. So when he gets signed, he wants to get signed as a pitcher.
As a pitcher, yeah. So he's no longer a position player.
So he's not hitting them right. That's what he's going for. God bless him.
So what was your prediction again, bro? I'm sorry, we were like going
50 wins, last place. All right, next.
50 wins
last. Next, Minnesota. I know I got Minnesota fourth before I go back in my notes. Minnesota overachieved last year. They folded up at the end of the season. We know that. Brian Buxton, he's played 100 games twice in his career. He's a phenomenal player, but he's a training room guy, and he needs to play, and he probably won't. They have a very good pitching staff, and I said it before. They're one of those teams, the Clevelands, the Minnesota's, Cleveland, Milwaukee, and the Mets. Damn, those Milwaukee, Minnesota, Cleveland, Mets. See, okay, yeah. They have a skill of developing pitchers and upgrading pitchers who we don't care about or we don't think much of. They're good at that, but I don't like them at all to be have 82 wins this year. I think they're going to take a drop off. What else I got on them? They added Bader in center field. They lost Carlos Santana back to Cleveland.
Yeah,
and Santana had 30 something home runs last year. He's 30 home runs. He's 39, but they lost him. Max Kepler also was gone. What else do we got here with them? Yeah, man, the Twins, they got Pablo Lopez still. Their rotation is pretty good. The bullpen is okay. I hate the lineup, bro.
Yeah.
And I just hate their reputation. They fold up and they have hangovers. I think this is gonna be a hangover season for them. So I got the Twins at 7.
What was their win total last year?
They were 82 and 80, but remember they fell apart.
Yeah,
they were on pace to be a 90-win team, 92-win team in August.
Kind of makes sense.
And they just fell apart, right?
Yeah.
And Detroit ran them down. You remember? And they finished fourth. Kansas City, Detroit, Cleveland ahead of them. I think they win 71 games this year. Period. Yeah, I think they're going to take a drop off. They're going to lose 10 games in the standings. 72. Since they won 82, I'll give them 10-game difference.
72?
The White Sox, you play the White Sox 18 times, 75. That's why they win all them games in that division. The White Sox can lose. All right.
What's the number?
75.
75?
They got to feast on the White Sox.
So that's a big drop, especially team rankings right now has Minnesota at 83.5, so give or take 84 or 83 wins.
I don't respect it.
Winning the division. So interesting. Interesting. I'm interested to see who you got coming out of the AL Central. Then, it's between two teams, but I don't think you're high on Detroit.
No, I got them right there. They're gonna fall off too. They didn't make, and it's crazy because I love AJ Hinch too. He's one of those managers. I mean, it's crazy that they didn't lose any players, and I gained the Glaber, and they got a couple other guys. Let me see what else they got. They got Flaherty and they got Tommy Kahle as well.
Bro. Scooble's dangerous.
Right.
That's their guy.
Right.
That's their number one guy.
Right.
He's good.
He won Cy Young last year.
Yep. And the bullpen's not terrible. We got Tommy Kahle, got some Kenta Maeda.
They won 86 and 76. They are 83.5 over under. I'm giving them 83.
83.
Yes.
And then where is that line for you? And that is what? Third place?
Yeah.
For the
Detroit Tigers. God bless Glaber. I hope he has a great season with his beard. Next.
Well, that's an interesting too with Glaber. He's really, he's gonna be relied on for them to really put up some numbers. So
I love the act. Yeah, sorry, I'll let you finish that. Yeah. They're gonna need him, bro. Yeah. And bro, he doesn't have the pressure. Man, Glaber, go swing the bat. They're starting you. They love you.
Right.
You don't have that pressure in New York. You're look up to here instead of looking down at. Because Glaber was a whipping boy for Baron Boone. He got blamed for everything. I'm just happy he moved on. I like Glaber, and God bless Glaber, man. Go kick ass, bro. All right. So the Royals. Go ahead, Matty. I want you to hear what you're going to
Oh,
say.
you're good. I'm gonna talk about it anyway with my prediction, so you're good.
Okay, good. Okay. I want you to add in while I'm speaking on it. I love it. All right. So the Royals added Jonathan India, second baseman, DH, leadoff. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. You put him in front of Bobby Witt Jr. Bobby Witt Jr. even more so than Buxton, even though he doesn't have injury history as Buxton, but he's a better player. He's another 5-tooler. Obviously, bro, MVP candidate. He has to stay healthy. He has to stay, and I'm not talking about 110 games. I need 145 from you, Mr. Witt Jr.
Yeah.
for this prediction to become reality. They won 86 games last year. They have an 83.5 over under. Like I said, they got that pitching staff. Waka's settled into his place in this league as a solid pitcher, a number 1 or 2. They got Cole Reagans, our boy Seth Lugo, and then Michael Lorenzen. Solid pitching staff. Would you say so?
I'd say it has the potential of being a very solid pitching staff, but it could be a middle of the pack. I don't think they'll be terrible. Again, I did say, banking a lot on Seth Lugo having another great year. At some point, age is going to catch up to this guy. I know he's crafty. I know he's old, crafty. Bro. He's crafty. But he's 35 years old. At some point,
I think they're going to squeeze a little bit.
It might go.
You got Salvador Perez. You got the old catcher back there. With him, he'll be all right.
For sure. Listen, Michael Waka.
I don't know.
Michael Waka, Lorenzen. It's like
these are all solid. So I feel you. I see where you're.
You know what I mean?
It's like 3 of them are going to be good.
Right. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like somebody's got to go full off. Like that's
when you spit him out like that. Lorenzen, who's okay, he can be good. Michael Waka, I just called him what he's. I don't like if you.
Waka, I think overall has been a disappointing career, but. I think they were very high on Waka when he first came.
He's been a lot of places.
Yes.
Waka Flocka Flame. Waka Flocka Flame, yeah.
I like Reagans. Like, that's their guy, right? Like, I think he's going to have a good year.
Bobby Witt Jr. is the war god, bro. Like, he is, I bet his war's a 10. Like, he really makes you better. Being on the field, he makes them 10 games better. Yeah. I know he does. I know it's a 9 or a 10. He's that good, bro. He's got all of the talents of all of these guys, bro. He got a little bit of Eli De La Cruz, the speed. He's got power. He's bro. He's with Judge. He's right there with Judge. He's the best player in the league.
Let's see.
He's real, man. But he has to stay healthy.
Why can't I find his WAR here? I was trying to look that up.
Let's go to Baseball Reference. You can't go wrong. So, with Bobby, I just want to say a little bit more about Bobby before I go to the Guardians and close this up. That kid, man, speed, power. And baseball is so funny, man. For one player to make you exponentially better is not an easy task. When a player making you 8, 9, 10 games, like you were talking about, all they got is we talk about Cincinnati, you're talking about De La Cruz, and you're right. You just pitch around them, and you were right. You're pretty much. I can't argue with that.
Gino, you said Perez playing some first base. Isn't Vinny Pasquantino their first baseman? Or I guess they'll rotate a little bit with Perez.
Yeah, Vinny's there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Salvador Perez will be in the catcher role too.
Yeah,
still do.
Maybe a little. Well, I guess you could alternate between the two. I don't know what they prefer. I don't know how, because Pasquantino is he the DH guy for them? I think maybe is he not a good fielder? Is that a thing?
Jonathan India is second, and they're gonna do DH by committee.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna move around. They're gonna show versatility, but like I said, none of this works without wit. Same thing with Minnesota. If Buxton wants to play 100 games, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose like 85 games.
So what's the win total for the Royals for you?
All right, over under Vegas 83.5. I'm gonna go 88 for the Royals.
88. So you got them. Yeah. You got them winning the division. No,
they're not gonna play around with the White Sox. They'll probably go 17-1 versus them. I'm serious, man.
You got them winning the division, yeah?
No.
Oh wow. Okay.
I'm gonna stay with Cleveland.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
So you got Cleveland winning more than 88. Yeah, you got Cleveland win at least 89.
What did I got? Kansas City 87.
You just picked a Royals 88 wins, bro.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. The Guardians ain't winning the division.
Yeah, I mean that would be a huge jump from
No,
fourth place to
Guardians.
first place. I'm not saying
right.
it's impossible. I just, I gotta take a closer look at the Cleveland Guardians.
No,
excuse me.
Their over/under's 82. Okay,
I know.
After they won
I know.
92
Yeah.
games, they lost Matt Boyd, they
Right.
lost Naylor, they lost Jimenez, they lost Miles Straw.
Right. How is that team coming out on top? That's what I'm,
Because their pitching staff is still very good, and that bullpen is still flamethrowers. They bring back Carlos Santana, replace Naylor. Carlos Santana feast off left-handed pitching. Feast. And he's gonna be back home. I think the Indians just are solid, bro. Solid base. I just don't see them. They take care of business. And matter of fact, what I got the Royals at 88. Yeah, Cleveland's at 86. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the divisions again, no. But I really don't like Minnesota. I really hate them. And I really think you can get a lot of wins off of them. And like you said, you think Detroit's not going to be as good.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Detroit,
I think, I think you're giving Guardians a little bit, but, the pitching's
Gavin
there.
Williams,
Pitching's there.
Bieber. Yeah.
I know, you got, BB, well, you got freaking Gavin Williams, Shane,
They got
Bieber
Cisse
as
in the
well.
bullpen.
Yeah.
Hunter Gaddis,
I like Tristan
1.57
McKenzie.
ERA.
I'm high on Tristan McKenzie as well. I like that pitching. You do. You got Class A.
They got the best bullpen in baseball. The one that the Yankees
good.
feasted on.
Yeah, you got Paul Sewell there, Kate Smith, Gaddis.
Bro,
You're right.
That goes big time. You get 5 runs, you're winning the game.
Problem is can they hit? Can they actually produce? And I don't know. I could see in this division them doing
In this league.
The league. I don't know.
They're a professional baseball team, man. And once again, they get the White Sox 18 times.
Yeah. That's tough. That's a tough one.
That's big,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Having the White Sox in your division, that's love. You're ahead of the whole
All right.
wild card. Everyone else in your division plays them the same amount of time, but everyone else in the league doesn't.
No.
Who's the worst team in the American League East? Right. You got them. We don't even know who that is.
Worst team in the American League East?
Somebody
now?
good.
Yeah. That's
Right.
that's a tough one, bro. Yeah.
Right. We don't have to deal with that today. Though.
Literally, I know. We're gonna recap that on Thursday, but yeah, that's a tough
that
one.
is tough, bro.
That's
That was
a
great
division.
question.
That's a division. And I feel like the same thing with the Mets. Mets are, I think, a slightly lesser.
You got the Washingtons of the world.
Yeah.
Every
Like
team-
Miami. Miami's
beat
still
you.
bad. Miami and
Yeah,
Washington's
Miami-
still bad. Just those top three.
Right.
The AL East is nice. Yeah,
That's not fair. Oh, Toronto's the worst team, 82 wins.
Yeah, the West.
Boston.
The West is like nothing. Bottom feeders. You got Seattle, Texas. Yeah. I don't know. I
Oakland.
think you're right. That's interesting. Excuse me. So,
Yeah, man.
Dummies got AL Central. Just to recap, all right. White Sox, 50 wins. They're coming in last place. Minnesota Twins, 75 wins. I'll give you a, fourth place finish there? Yep.
I changed my
All right.
mind. Guardians 88, Kansas City 87. We're going Guardians division again. The bullpen, I can't get over it.
88
Sorry.
wins, Guardians, and in Kansas City, 87?
87. Yes.
Oh, my God.
It's like Price is Right, yo. $1.
Switching it up on me. Second place.
You're putting it in stone now.
All right, it's in stone. That's it. Final answer. So you got Guardians winning it out, 88 wins. Royals, 87. All right, coming in second. I like that, actually. The offense with the Guardians, though, I don't know. I probably have to give the Royals the push, but
The Royals more exciting, but I don't trust them.
Detroit
with
Tigers, 83 wins, third place. All right, and what were they projected again? Let me just pull
86.
this up.
No, 84. 83 and a half.
I got 82 and a half on team rankings for Detroit, so yeah. It's weird. On team rankings, they got Minnesota, Detroit, Kansas City, Cleveland, and Chicago. Those 4 teams Minnesota,
crazy. They
Detroit
think
City, Cleveland.
Cleveland is a professional organization, bro.
They got
You
them
know what I
all.
mean?
They got fourth place and
When
first
last
place
time
2
When
games.
last time you remember seeing the Guardians in fourth place, bro? Think about that again, man. I'm sure they've been there in the last 20 years, but come on, bro. That's not where they be at, bro.
Yeah,
Detroit
but,
and
you know,
Kansas City and Minnesota is going to be better than them. Get out of here.
I guess again, the way they're ranking them, fourth and first place is just 2 games away from each other.
Minnesota don't got no heart.
You listening? I got, Cleveland 82 wins in fourth place and Minnesota 84. So it's literally only 2-game difference from first to fourth place. Basically saying that this division is middle of the pack. They're just not as good. It's kind of up for grabs, which, honestly, outside of the White Sox, it is. I agree. I don't think it's like super solid. I think the 2 teams are the Guardians and Royals. You got to get through, but
NL
Detroit,
Central's better.
can the Detroit find a way to sneak a win? If that pitching on the Guardians isn't as good as we expect it to be, because that's the thing. You're really banking on them to be, really good in terms of that pitching. Offensively, they're not going to put up big runs. Royals, I think, have a much better lineup, and we know their pitching can hold their own. So, if that doesn't indicate where I'm going with my predictions a little bit, so that's where I'm going. I'm going in that direction. I think the Royals are going to come out on top of this division. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's just me on this one. I think they're going to find a way. Last year, this year, team rankings has Kansas City at third place, 82 wins. I'll give them 80. Man, it's tough. It's a tough call. But I do think it's a relatively weak division. I'll give them 86.
Yeah.
I'll give them 86 and coming in first, by the way. That's where I'm at.
Everything is safe.
86 wins, first place for the Royals. Again, I have my reserves about that pitching staff, holding up and doing their thing. But, this lineup, it has the potential to be pretty productive, especially in this type of division. They're not going to win all the games. I'm not, expecting them to win freaking, the World Series, but I like them at 86 wins. Guardians, I think they'll be, in the mix. We just spoke about heavily on their pitching. I think they're there, but this offense is atrocious. I don't see where they get their big production from. They're gonna have, maybe some guys emerge, maybe they don't. But I have them at 84 wins, okay? 84 wins, and that should be second place. Okay, I'm going to run through this last division. We've been going, I think we're already, we are past the 2-hour mark. So, yeah, we got things to do, people to see. It's all good, but, that's it. With that being said, Tigers, I have them at third as well. W's got them in third place. I agree with him there. He's got him at 83 wins. I got the Tigers almost just a 500 team, man. 81 wins. That's what I got them at. Nothing to sneeze at. They're just going to be a team that meanders through the season, middle of the pack, not really contending, doing anything. Okay?
Right.
Minnesota, I can't be super high on the White Sox at all. I would probably take that over if you're according to team rankings. If you're a betting man, team rankings got White Sox at 53.9, so 54 wins. Minnesota, they're listed to win it in team rankings, which is kind of crazy. I don't have that 83.5 for them. I don't have faith in Minnesota. We spoke about it, Dub. I think they're going to fall off, and mainly because I just think the Royals and Guardians are just better. I just think they're better. Tigers, I think, will surprise you a little bit, but Twins, I think they're just going to fall off, being me under team, 78 wins, okay? Now put them in fourth place. And the White Sox. Again, we're not even going to waste too much time. White Sox are the bottom feeder. They should be the worst team in baseball. There's not much there with them. Outside of that, who's your other potential worst? Miami? Yeah. or Colorado. Rockies are not there. Colorado is also another team projected to win 60 games. That's freaking wild. That's so low.
That division is tough, man.
You know, that is a tough division, though. You know, and Colorado what did they do? What did they do to improve themselves? You know, so
Nothing.
yeah, when you're looking at White Sox and Colorado, that's definitely the bottom feeders. I don't know if I could go as low to say 54 wins. What did you have the White Sox at? 50 wins?
0.
That's kind of like a mind-boggling number to me. I know they're bad.
I got to look at Vegas and respect Vegas.
I'll give them 55. I don't know. I'll give them what team rankings got them at 54. I'll give them one more win. I give them 55 wins, man. Yeah. Take the over by 1. And that's it. There's your AL Central. There's your NL Central. All right, that's going to complete the segment for today, folks. So just a quick recap again. My prediction. Yeah, I got you, baby.
I got company. I got to take off, man.
Sounds good. All right, just a quick recap. Okay, my prediction, NL Central prediction, Chicago Cubs winning 88 wins. Milwaukee, second place, 86 wins. Cincinnati, last place, 74. Pittsburgh, third place, 82 wins. St. Louis, fourth place, 76 wins. Dubby, he's got the Pirates coming in at third place, 79 wins. Cardinals, 75 wins, fifth place. Reds, 78 wins, fourth place. Brewers, 85 wins, second place. Cubs, first place winners, 87 wins. Okay, we're just one off there. Dubby with the Central, he thinks that first place is going to the Guardians, 88 wins. I think Gino was like, hell no way. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting one to look back on. Royals, second place, 87 wins. Third place, Detroit Tigers, 83 wins. Fourth place, Twins, 75 wins. And dreadful White Sox in last place with 50 wins. That would be something else if you get hit on that, man. 50 wins. That's crazy.
Yes.
AL Central, for me, Royals, I got them coming out on top. All right, 86 wins. Again, kind of middle to just bad, weak division, really. But it comes down to Royals and Guardians. Guardians, 84 wins, second place. Tigers, 81 wins, third place. Twins, 78 wins. White Sox, 55. I'll give them 55. Take the over, people, on the year. That's insane. All right. With that being said, folks, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the follow earlier. Was that Gamer? We really appreciate that. We have finally hit 50 followers on Twitch. Please, if you haven't already done so, check us out on YouTube as well. We are simulcast on YouTube. The stream was good. It was a beautiful thing. And that's it. With that, Dub, if you need to go, baby, don't worry. Take off. It's all right. Let the people say goodbye. W, you there? He's gone. He's already out of here, man. Oh, man. Well, again, thank you, everybody, for stopping by. I'm going to pull up this scene. So we are finally a Twitch affiliate. It's a beautiful thing. A lot to come going forward with this show. Please, if you haven't already done so, please like, follow, and subscribe. Check out all of our socials. We're going to have some of the clips and our predictions out here on the show going forward. So definitely tune in for that. And again, stay updated. Make sure those notifications on so that you know when we are going live. And that is all, folks. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope your weekend ends well. Have a good start to the week. All right. Check my page, my personal page, Epis Benedetti, for a Mental Health Monday video coming tomorrow. All right. I like to do my mental health videos. Please check it out. A lot of people enjoy them. And soon on Epis Radio, we are going to be implementing some new shows. Might have a mental health shows, some maybe pop culture shows, some dating shows. Who knows? A lot in store. All right. So again, thank you for tuning in, Gino. Appreciate it. Mob, Gamer, Zero, everybody that's involved. Dub, my co-host, my man, Pots and Pans. Thank you for everything, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. Check the YouTube pages for a full recap of this show. If you want to watch it on there, you can watch it on Twitch as well. All right. Epis Radio, Matty B. Keep showing up, everybody.
Broadcasting from the capital of sports, it's the Matty B Show. Right here on Epis Sports Radio. Matty B. On Epis Sports
And it's swung and hit in the air. To deep right center. That ball is high. That is far. It is gone.
Hey, just want to say shout out to Certified Dumper on YouTube. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate you. I missed that earlier, just 21 minutes ago. Thank you, Pod Certified, for stopping by. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Epis Sports Radio.
The Jets win.